Meet your wide receiver one of the 2025 class, Tetairoa McMillan, 6'5", 212 pounds. He is your prototypical X wide receiver. Dude has one of the nastiest catch radiuses I've ever seen. He can be moved all over the field as well. Back-to-back seasons of 80-plus receptions and 1,300 yards. Was top 5 in the nation in receiving yards both here in 2024 and a year ago in 2023 as well. The only issue is that he played at Arizona and could never get Arizona as a team over the top in a very soft Pac-12 and now Big 12. Didn't take another big step this year, kind of leveled off a little bit. Eric, is Tet your wide receiver one? And do you like him here at 5, or do you think I have him too low or too high?
He is my wide receiver one. I think he's about right. I had him ahead of Jalen Milroe when I went through my top 12 a week or so ago, because I think that there is a premium to getting the best player at his position in a rookie draft, and I think that's the type of thing that can serve as a tiebreaker between like your 4th and 5th guy off the board, right?
Sure.
But for Tet, I mean, he fits the mold perfectly of a prototypical like perimeter X receiver, right? He's got the size, he's got the speed, he can win contested catches at more of like a 65-35 clip. His catch radius is insane, and his hands are like Velcro. So everything that you're looking for. I'm going to make Steve nice and happy and say that he reminds me a lot of Drake London or maybe Roma Dunze, somewhere in that type of mold.
Steve, you have not been the brightest, chipperest person I've seen on this program. You've been really playing devil's advocate here. Do you have anything to note here on Tet that has you down on him, or is he your wide receiver one in standing?
He is my wide receiver one, and he's actually my number 2 player overall in this draft as far as superflex goes. To me, he is far and away better than Drake London and Roma Dunze. He is much more in the vein of a Julio Jones than I think he is of them. He is big, he is fast, and he can separate. His footwork is incredible. His ability to make things happen after the catch at his size is remarkable. He is going to be somebody that I honestly think could rival like what guys like Malik Neighbors, guys like what Jalen Waddle did his rookie season, Julio Jones did his rookie. I mean, this guy is big. He's fast. He's exactly what if you built a wide receiver, like you're building this guy, like Calvin Johnson is not a ridiculous comp for this man. Like it is
the size
6'5", 220, runs like a gazelle. This
Tet's a little Tet needs to get in the gym a little bit. That's kind of my one thing. I think he needs to bulk up a little bit.
But like you look at like Julio Jones, even he was a thin dude, right? When Tet comes out at the draft and runs a 4.38 40 or a 4.4 40, he is going to be a top 5 pick. Like this dude, to me, would be the wide receiver one in last year's class. That's how good I think this man is.
Wow. Okay. I think I'm a little bit lower than consensus. Obviously, I think here, obviously having him down at 5, I know a lot of people have him up around the 2-3 area in their superflex ranking. So I'm going to go with Tet at 5 there, and we're going to continue on at the wide receiver position. I got Travis Hunter, the Heisman Trophy winner, comes in right behind him. And he is the Biletnikoff winner for the best wide receiver in college football across the nation. Top 5 in receptions with 92, over 1,100 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns for the kid as well. This is all while being a shutdown corner and playing 300 more snaps than anybody else. 300 more snaps. Like that, those are games for people. And imagine what he could have just been doing playing wide receiver. He's a great kid. He didn't come from a lot. He is kind of this newer style, more slender, 185-pound receiver. However, the issue for me is I don't know if Travis Hunter is going to play wide receiver or cornerback. And that could, we could be looking at Travis Hunter logistically as a second-round pick in Superflex if he goes to a team that wants to make him a cornerback and use him in packages on offense. However, I am hoping that he goes to somewhere where like New England, where they have to use him on offense first. We'll figure out the cornerback stuff later. We'll throw him in some defensive packages, maybe use him in the return game a little bit, but he needs to play on offense because we're throwing to Pop Douglas and the ghost of Kendrick Bourne out there. Like that's kind of what we got. So I like Hunter here at 6, but Eric, there's a wide range of outcomes here, really depending on my landing spot. And if I was drafting pre-NFL draft this season, I would be nervous. I would be nervous taking Hunter here, and I don't think I would have him this high.
Yeah, that's the hedge, right? We don't know exactly how he is going to be thought of or deployed at the NFL level. If we knew definitively that he was going to be a wide receiver, I think he would be, along with Tet, ahead of Milroe at minimum, potentially higher, right? Obviously a cerebral kid, his understanding of the game is elite, right? The best way to know how to counterpunch your opponent is to know their plan for defending you, right?
Yeah.
So he's very unique in that regard, right? Not only playing both sides, but having that in-depth understanding of both sides. But as a prospect outright, his explosiveness jumps off the page, right? Like he's got that, kind of that short area quickness, fleet-footed acceleration that you're looking for, but also at top speed can pull away from some people, right? Like there are a number of things that you like about his game. Obviously has the ability to reel the ball in. He's got good anticipation, solid hands, all of the needful stuff that you're looking for in a top wide receiver. But he's got a couple of things that nobody else in this class can say, and that nobody else really in the history of NFL can say.
Steve, you are a New England Patriots fan by nature. Do you think if they are to draft him, they're right now tucked into that 3 slot? Do you think it's an automatic he is going to start at wide receiver and then figure out the cornerback stuff later if he ever does? Or do you think they will play him on defense given Gerard Mayo's background?
I think no matter where he goes, he probably is going. I would say odds right now are he's going to play defense primarily. I think that's what he profiles as.
A lot of mixed reporting on the internet. A lot of mixed reporting.
I would say watching him, I think he profiles better as a defender. I think he's a very good cornerback. I think he benefited from some soft defenses in the Big 12. We saw when the games got a bit more talented, he struggled a bit more, just like Shedeur Sanders did. I think at the NFL level, he profiles a lot as like Jaden Reed, right? Like that's kind of what I see him as a wide receiver. But you're telling me if you're in the New England Patriots, you don't want to roll him out there next to Christian Gonzalez and say, go ahead and try to throw on us, because you can't. Like that's much more valuable to me than having someone out there who's like explosive, but not very good at like getting open. It's a little bit different. I think he's very talented. I won't take away from how talented he is and how good he is on both sides of the ball, but it doesn't profile out at the NFL level. I don't think on the offensive side of the ball as well. Not that he won't be good, but he won't be as good on the offensive side as he will be on the defensive side.
Interesting. I think Steve's a Colorado hater. I think that's what I'm learning here, Eric. I think Steve's not with Coach Prime and the gang.
I am not a Coach Prime believer.
I mean, look, if you want to take his responses in a vacuum, he is right to say that this has been one of the worst years of Big 12 football in probably all of our memories.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun though. There was some fun. Like
it was definitely fun. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to watch. It's just not.
But yeah. Like it's different, especially the fact
Big 12 was like the JV.
Well,
conference. I mean, it wasn't great.
It was categorically. I think where we differ is like I don't think that's necessarily a disqualifier, right? Like
I clearly don't either, because I have Tet McMillan being my number 2 player.
Yeah. And Ashton, who's coming from the Mountain West, like a non P4.
I won't rule it against them, but when you have an offense like Prime, Deion Sanders built that offense for Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter to look very good. Right? Like that is his primary goal. That is his primary focus, was to get his son and Travis Hunter exposure and draft capital. I think when that goes away and all of a sudden they're not entirely focused on them, that doesn't translate as well.